Hey y'all, and welcome to the Southland Piper. I'm your host Tim. Hope you're doing well today. Well, I thought I would start work on this Dunhill pipe. It's a group, it's like 5, good sized Dunhill. It's in pretty decent condition, not a lot of carbon up here on the rim. So let's turn around to the workbench and take a closer look. All right, let's take a better look at this pipe. It looks like to be a nice sandblast. Let's see, I don't know if we can, we'll have to work on getting a better look of the nomenclature. The stem is not too bad. I mean, it's got some oxidation. The bottom of the button, you can see that profile. Looks like they were, for some reason, a little rougher on the bottom, but we'll have to reshape that a little bit. See how this comes out. Yeah, okay. I don't see any cracks or anything there. Flashlight. The inside of the bowl looks pretty good. Well, I think this one's going to clean up pretty nice. So let's get started. Now, y'all have seen this before, but I'm going to go ahead and put the stem down in this stem cleaner. Again, that's the, let me see if I get the bottle. That's what I'm using. Seems to do a pretty good job. And I'll stick this in the back with that under it. Keep it covered real good.
A few hours later.
Let's take the stem out of the deoxidizer. Grab it, well, I'm gonna grab it up by that. Let that drain just a little bit. Trying to find the other end, but the only knock I got on this stuff is it is just thick, 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 thick. All right. Pull that pipe cleaner out. All right, got that out. Back up a little bit. Does a nice job, but it is sticky stuff. I still need to work on how long I need to leave it in that solution. I mean, it got a lot of it. It won't take much buffing to get that looking good. As usual, I will buff a little bit, and that will show the tooth marks more easily. So that will be the next step. Well, I may go ahead and clean it out, I guess, next, and then because I need it good and clean, because I may go up with a little tool and push from the inside on some of these tooth marks. Now, while I'm putting the first buffing on this stem, so I can see these tooth marks better, I'm gonna go ahead and I started a cotton ball and alcohol treatment on this stummel. Of course, I like to use the disposable earplugs to plug up the mortise. Spilled a little alcohol there. I'm not too worried about that because we're going to be doing a total refinish on this pipe. So we're going to let this soak overnight, and we'll see what it looks like tomorrow morning. And I'll buff up this stem a little bit. I finished my first buffing, and I still got some oxidation I'm going to have to work on. The tooth marks are actually look better now that I've buffed it. Just a little bit there, and a little bit larger one here. I don't know how well y'all can see that. I think you can see that one a little bit. That's the worst one. But what I'm having the hardest time trying to decide to do, this top at the button is still fairly nicely defined. But on the bottom, it's much more rounded over. So I'm going to have to decide, do I want to try to cut that in a little bit and make that bottom of the button, you can see that it's a little flatter on the bottom side. I'm going to think about it. I want to remove as little as material as possible. I don't think I want to come in and round this off to the same profile. Um, I don't know. I may just work on it just a little bit, and or I may not. We'll see how it looks after I get these tooth marks, which aren't, like I said, aren't bad at all. Um, so yeah, we'll try to lift those out with a little heat, and then I'm gonna do some more work as far as this oxidation. I just, I guess I need to leave it longer in that solution. I'm not overly thrilled. It's okay. I have not put any sandpaper on the stem at all. I've only used the white diamond and the triple E compound on the buffer. Um, anyway, let's see if I can get those out. And another nice thing about going ahead and buffing a little bit, now that I'm using a little sandpaper, now you can see where I'm a little low right there, and on the back side, tooth mark's still a little low. They're extremely shallow. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just sand them out from there. But yeah, that buffing, it'll show them once you start sanding. All right, there's the stem. What I ended up doing, it's probably a little hard to see. I went ahead and cut in on this bottom button a little bit, but then softened the top one a little bit as well to kind of give them the same lines. They're not totally identical, but I think it looks pretty good. I might have just a hair of a tooth mark right in the middle of that one. May have to go back and dress. The top looks good, but the stem is pretty much done. Other than I may need to hit that spot, but I think the button, I don't know if you can tell much this way or not. Need some light. It's a little bit more symmetrical now, where the top had quite a bit more material. So I'm pretty happy with that. Well, it's almost been 24 hours on this pipe doing the cotton ball and alcohol treatment. So let's pull that out. Some cotton. There we go. Check here in a minute. See, we got it all out. Yeah, looks like we got it, all of the cotton out. Now, well, first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and spin a paper towel down in this bowl. Try to get some of that alcohol and muck. But this also softens up the cake inside. So, yeah, that one fits pretty good. pipe did not have a lot of cake. I don't think that one will fit. Nope. I do a combination usually of a couple of different sizes and such. Decatur and then this other set. It's really pretty clean on the outside. Let's see what we can do to clean up this rim a little bit without getting too overly aggressive. And I know this sounds like a broken record, but good old Q-tips and saliva. So we'll just start seeing what we can lift off the top of this rim. Like I said, we're going to start as gentle as we can as far as trying to remove a little bit of cake on top of this rim. But you can see it just really starts to lift it off. And you make one pass and it just kind of moistens things up. And then on your second pass, you are able to get even more. But it works really well, and it's very gentle, I guess, on the pipe. So let me keep doing this for a bit and I'll come on back. All right, I'm done finishing cleaning of the pipe rim. Pipe's looking pretty good. The bowl cleaned out nicely. Now, when I talk about I use these Q-tips and just saliva to clean the bowl, there's my first one. We move it on down, and then we finally get pretty much not getting anything on that one. And, sitting there just scrubbing away on the rim, it's what I like to call mindless work. You don't really have to concentrate greatly on what you're doing. You just kind of put yourself on autopilot and you keep going. But one thing you need to make sure, and I think it was this third one, I had used one in and flipped it around and used it, and then I forgot about that and I stuck the dirty one in my mouth. So anyway, you got to at least pay enough attention to not put a dirty Q-tip in your mouth. That's the second time that I've done that. I don't know, we look down the mortise. Everything's nice and clean. So now we come to finishing touches. I'm contemplating on just go ahead and waxing it at this point, putting just the carnauba wax on it because I like the look of an older estate pipe, even though this one's a 1985, which a lot of people wouldn't consider that old at all. But I am pretty light around the rim here, and I could put the wax on it, and if I don't like it, I can rub it down with some alcohol and get the wax off and put a little stain on it. But I'm seriously considering that. Matter of fact, let me get a paper towel and use a little alcohol, and that kind of gives you an idea of what the pipe will look like once you buff it out. That's maybe a little too much alcohol. That's what I'm gonna get with those light areas, pretty much. I think it'll be a fairly pretty pipe. I'm just concerned that this top might come out a little. I don't know if I want that much of the lighter exposed. Well, here's the pipe. Dunhill shell. A little dusty. I like the look of the pipe, not, restaining it. I'm still not totally sold on the top rim, but I think it turned out really well. This is one of the pipes that I got last week in a estate um, of about 28 or 29 pipes. Had 3 Dunhills in the group. And this was one of the pipes that was going to help me recoup my money. But this is a Dunhill 6mm filtered pipe. I've had several Dunhills. I've sold them all off. I don't try to convert Dunhills. Usually the tendons is just too small. So I do have one other Dunhill that's filtered, and it's my 1959 birth year Dunhill. And now this one, I may keep this one for a while. Smoke it a few times, see how it smokes. But it being a filtered pipe, I really want to keep it. So I guess I'm going to have to make my money back somewhere else. But I think the pipe turned out fairly well. Well, thank you for sharing your time with me, and I hope you found this video interesting or a little helpful, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye.